In Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. A spin.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. He'll buy some time right. And his first look is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Mariota now. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And some room to roam now. They'll get 34 yards there.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
That's it. Number 53.
They'll give it to Mixon, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. The point after through the raindrops, up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. A nice little juke. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 22.
King. Run. Check. Bravo.
Mayfield to throw it. Complete. Richardson has it. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that'll open things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the end routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it. This is Michelle. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2.
Hey, alert 33. Watch his flat. Like 3. 218, chop it.
Check 49.
Check your hot read. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
From the gun, they run with Michel. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a third down. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. It's caught by OBJ. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on third down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
I can't help it. Every time I see Eric Berry make a play, as we just saw him make a tackle there, I just want to stand up and applaud.
Because he went to Tennessee like you?
Well, that doesn't hurt one bit, but how about the comeback? I mean, he came back from beating cancer and getting back to Pro Bowl level, one of the best players in the game.
From the 22, Mayfield, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
36.
Mayfield throwing quickly out to Beckham. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. The Bengals drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. On play action, Mariota airing one out for Boyd. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And it'll bring up third down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
On third down, Mariota to Mixon on the check down. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Kirk now, the return man. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
Check safety, check safety.
Let's go.
Throwing, Mayfield, and he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Kind of a fine line when you're setting up the screen. You don't want to throw it too early and have the defense react too quickly, and you definitely don't want to throw it too late, and that way it's not formed perfectly. Got to make sure you hit it just right.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Run. Regular. Hey, Alpha.
Check back. Watching your five.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. That's going to be caught by Richardson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 29-yard line. Mayfield now already at 100 yards passing in this 1st quarter. It's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Michelle. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, it's working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Watch the safety creep.
Real.
To throw, Mayfield. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
And that's their 1st sack of this game, but how about last week? 6 sacks. Great coverage downfield, which helped that pass rush. They are really working in sync right now.
Mayfield in this Browns offense staring at a 3rd and long now after the sack.
Check 26.
Alert.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Let's go.
Umpire through the flag usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
To throw is Mariota. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pumps from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here on the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give, this is Michelle. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Hey, alert 33.
Hey, check Mike 57, Mike 57. Watch the run, watch the run. Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
On 2nd and 11 now. Mayfield throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended receiver, Sony Michel, and it's 3rd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Let's go, defense.
Hey, alert, 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 alert. Okay.
On 3rd down, Michel. And this effort will not get it done. He stopped well short of the 1st down at the 29. That'll be good for 6, but now it's 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. John Ross, 79 yards. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
The Browns take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
57's the mic.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Don't get nervous.
57's the mic. 57's the mic. Switch up, switch up.
Check, 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 check.
Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. They've got his man complete. And all the way down to the 35. A big play that time for Cleveland. And even 40 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35.
Hurry, hurry. Kings, Kings, Kings. Hey, I 7.
I got you, son. I got you. You're online. You're online, baby. Get this.
I got you.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Hey, alert 33.
On the ground is Michelle. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On third down, Michelle will get the first down and more inside the 20. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Check 13. Check 13. What?
Alert, 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 alert.
Tight go.
Up.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, watch the ship.
61, match box. My God.
On the ground, Michelle. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Rush in.
Run.
99. Check 99. Pick the edge. Go. Tighten up.
Up. Protein spill.
57's the mic. Watch 57. Get that quarter.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Michelle. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Now the Bengals going to signal for their third and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal.
Watch twist.
Real.
Twist.
Hurry.
Get him.
Hurry.
Ball. Be ready.
Hey, alert.
57's Mike. Watch the slant.
Hey, Haywood.
Mike 57.
My God.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Here comes to me. It's me. 55's Mike, guys. 55. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
Run.
Mike, 50.
Hey, wahoo.
55. Here we go. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Huh?
God.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
The Bengals drive about to get going. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are on the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
Where are they, team?
We got to get the ball, team. Get the ball right here. Let's go.
Three.
He's checking. Crash.
Throwing on second down. Mariota. He gets this one to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
Here we go.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. On first and 10, Mayfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
On second and 12, Mariota looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Following the interception, Mayfield sliding out of the pocket. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Getting it to him in space pays off big time. That winds up going for 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a 1st down carry. It's Michel. And he'll work his way inside the 30 now to the 28. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
180.
Hey, we got to get to the ball, team. We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. He's coming.
Point it right. Point it right. Point it right.
Mayfield to throw it this time. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And once again, the Browns are back in front. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2.
Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57. Target, 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 target. Bang, 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 bang.
Alert, alert. Alert, alert. Hurry, hurry.
Mayfield. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. And, of course, on the 2-point try, had the option to run or pass. They pass it there, and it works.
Felt pretty straightforward, didn't it? An open receiver, ball's put on him, 2 points for them.
That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Bengals drive about to get going. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Jake Ryan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
And he's going to go down again. Dwayne Smoot, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. The return is Kirk. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Play fake. Mayfield. And he'll be taken down down by the Bengal pressure. Getting the sack, the big D tackle, Geno Atkins.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Here's Mayfield. And his throw here's incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Hey, alert 33. Go.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to look deep down the field. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Extra point attempt here still to come. He's got it as they double up the lead. This one's now 28-14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And give them a gain of 37.
37 yards. 1st down, Cincinnati.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action now. Mariota. Eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. It's a foot race. The 30. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Check 53 is Mike. I'll get him.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. He finds an opening past the 40. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy. and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. Not much there, maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake, Mariota. They'll roll him out right. He's got his man, Boyd. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From the gun, Mariota. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. John Ross with touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Bullock good on the extra point, and that will get them one closer. Now Bullock will send this one away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby.
The Browns take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Second and 6, just inside the 30. On the ground, this is Michel. Space to maneuver at the 40.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Keeping it on the ground on first, Michel. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a third and about 5. The Browns on third down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5. On third down, Michel. Well, the ball is out. Michel lost it, and the Bengals grab it. And they'll set up shop in enemy territory at the 45-yard line.
Partner, that one looked like it was over. I mean, they had control, had the football, and the defense had to make a play in order to keep them in the game. That's exactly what they did.
And now that door ajar, 2-score game, so hold on here, not done in the 4th. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the fourth quarter. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
You rarely call your punter a weapon, but he certainly was there. How about that? Pinning him down at the 1-yard line and helping out the defense in a big way. I'm telling you what, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I might be thinking safety right now.
The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go up and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And they work this out past the 25. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. On play action, Mariota. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Here we go.
Mariota. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw, Mariota. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Good shot, baby. That's a baby shot.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Mariota. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards. Mixon with a first down carry. 20.
All day, baby. Let's go. Let's go.
So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score.
3 bucks. Hey, check 24.
From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Now Mariota to the end zone, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal. Back-to-back great plays defensively. You get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down in distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this one travels out of bounds, so unsuccessful there on the onside kick try. A big mistake in that spot. You got to let it go, Tim.
They didn't give themselves a chance. They had an opportunity, touched it first. Now they're in a really bad spot.
Now Michelle. And an alley to run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
At the Bengals' 29-yard line.
So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. And it's Michelle once again. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. On the toss, here's Michelle. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce it, might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do?
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A game there of 30 big ones. And Charles, in this one, the 4th quarter became a lot more interesting, I know, than I anticipated. Probably you anticipated. A comeback bid falling just a little bit short.
You're never supposed to count a team out, and I know we didn't on air, but mentally, I just didn't see this type of a comeback, especially one that put them in a position to put the real pressure on them down the stretch.
So for the Browns, they continue to put themselves in position for a first-round bye as they move to 8-2, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, it was a game they really needed as they drop back to 4-6, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.